again, music fans. I'm back here for another metal collection update with 6 albums. Not much, but that's because lately I've been concentrating on just listening to my collection instead of just hoarding stuff. All right, but I do have 6 albums here that are pretty damn good, I think. And let's start with the first one. And also, coincidentally, 4 of these albums, and it was just a coincidence, are from bands that are kind of like, side project type bands, where either there's a one guy that gathers together several people to make an album, or people that get together, from other bands. The first one is Demons and Wizards. This is their self-titled first album. This is the 2019 reissue, and it's pretty good, damn good. Of course, this one has features. It is, let's see, John Schaefer from Iced Earth, and this right now it's ex Iced Earth, and Hansi Kirsch from Blind Guardian. All right, so I believe they made 3 albums. This is their first one, and it's pretty damn good, and it's exactly what you would think it would be, a mixture of Iced Earth and Blind Guardian. In fact, when I was listening to this car in my car, my brother was with me. He didn't know that I was playing this, and he said, of course, I recognized that guitar tone. It was the John Schaefer Iced Earth guitar tone, but pretty good, very very powerful sounding power metal. More on the traditional heavy metal side. I believe Demons and Wizards. The next one would be Timo Tolkki's Avalon here, who I've read that this band, was the idea of the record label, in this case, Frontiers Records. Okay, Frontiers Records. So, Timo Tolkki, of course, known for Stradivarius, and he has a whole bunch of guest singers here, and also I believe it was also read, I don't know this for sure, that it was the record label that chose these singers. And it's a veritable who's who of, current metal, superstars. So I'm going to change the camera around so we can get a good look at each one and from which bands they come from. Okay, here goes. Okay, this is the first singer called Pelik, and as far as I know, he's not in any band. He's actually a very popular YouTuber who does covers of, or rather, metal covers of anime theme songs. He also does covers of metal songs, but that anime thing seems to be his main content on his channel. Now we have another YouTuber here, Rafael Mendes from Brazil. And by the way, this album is a very international album. All right. So Rafael Mendes, like I said, a YouTuber who specializes in Iron Maiden covers, and his voice has an uncanny resemblance to that of Bruce Dickinson. In fact, some of the videos that he has on his channel are like, what if Bruce Dickinson sang for Guns N' Roses or some other band like that, right? Okay, and the track that he does here, you have to do a double take because you almost think it's Bruce Dickinson. Now for Jake E. from Sweden, Extreme Evil and X Amaranth. Of course, we all know James Labrie from Dream Theater does a really great job on his track. Fabio Leone, X Rhapsody of Fire, and he's now with Angra, I believe. In fact, I believe when Rhapsody of Fire came to my city, he was in the lineup. Now we start with the ladies here, starting with the very beautiful Marina Latorraca from Brazil, from Phantom Elite, and also from Exit Eden, who is a band of female singers that do metal covers of pop songs. In that band is also the singer from Visions of Atlantis. The very beautiful Catarina Nix here from Chile, ex Agonia, and is right now with Timo Tolkki's other project, which is Chaos Magic. last but definitely not least, my very favorite female metal singer, Brittany Slays, from the fantastic Canadian power metal band Unleash the Archers. I absolutely love the singer, and she totally kills it on the two tracks that she's on. Okay, those are my favorite tracks on the album. And also, this woman is not only my favorite female singer, but probably in my top five metal singers of all time. She does a great job. The next band is Avantasia here, which is in fact Tobias Sammet's Avantasia. This is an album from a few years ago. This is not their latest. This is the Wicked Symphony. Oh, I forgot to mention that. This one is called The Enigma Birth, their third album. Okay, but here's the Wicked Symphony from Avantasia. Tobias Sammet here is the mastermind, formerly of Edguy, and he also has a who's who of guest singers here. Likewise, like with Avalon, I'm going to change the camera around so we can get a look at each of those singers and where they come from. Now, here in the Wicked Symphony, Tobias Sammet not only played guitar, but he also sings or co-sings on most of the tracks. You know, he is the lead singer for Edguy, so this is his side project. Russell Allen from Symphony X also co-vocals here, and I've recently been really getting into Symphony X lately. Jornland, who may be very familiar, you know, he's has produced several albums where he does covers of classic metal songs. He has a very classic sounding voice, you know, tries to be a Dio in a lot of ways. Also, Michael Kiske, right there from Halloween. And you can't have one of these multi-singer projects without inviting Tim Ripper Owens, who has been in many of these type of things. Okay, and I think he is right now with KK's Priest. And none other than Klaus Main from the Scorpions does one track here, Dying for an Angel, and he is very perfectly suited for that track because it is a very Scorpions-like track. Andre Matos as well. Don't know much about this guy, only that he was formerly with Angra in a band called Shaman. A perfect fit for this type of music, Bob Catley from Magnum. Don't know much about this singer, Ralph Zidiarstek, other than he has sung on several Avantasia records in the past. Not on vocals, but yes, playing lead guitar and drums here, none other than Bruce Kulick and Eric Singer. And if you don't know what bands they're in, shame on you. The next band I'm going to talk about is Ashes of Aries, okay? And I'm going to put the cover of that album right here because I bought it on digital. Okay, this is their second album, Well of Souls, which is really good. Okay, they have 3 albums. This is their second album, and this band is comprised of 2 ex-members of Iced Earth, who are Matt Barlow, the singer, and Freddie Vitalis, the guitarist. All right, so those 2 guys are the main members of the band, plus some guest musicians to make this band. Ashes of Aries, again, very powerful power metal / traditional heavy metal with great melodies. I really like this album. I also really like the cover. All right. Ashes of Aries. Recommended. The next one is also digital purchase. Again, I'll put the cover over here. It is Wytch Hazel, which is a band from England. Okay. And this is more of a traditional 70s hard rock / even though they call themselves a metal, they're not really metal. They're more of a hard rock band, and not that hard also because let's think of Uriah Heep, Blue Oyster Cult, stuff like that. All right, so but this band, there's a lot of modern day bands that try to do the retro stuff. This band does it really well. with great songs, great melodies, really catchy riffs. Okay, and rather unique lyrical content because some of their lyrics have a bit of a Christian slant to them, which I'm perfectly okay with. All right, so Wytch Hazel from England, that was a pleasant discovery right there on Bandcamp. And the last album that I'm going to talk about is, I'm also going to put the cover over here, even though I have bought it on digital. It just hasn't come to me yet, but I have heard it several times on Spotify. So I do have the album, it just hasn't come to me yet. It is, of course, Scorpions, their latest Rock Believer. Now, when I heard that Scorpions was coming out with a new album, I was like, because their latest albums have kind of left me, they're very middle of the road, very way too many mid-tempo songs and too many ballads per album also, which I do not like about that, even though I know that's a big part of who the Scorpions are as a band, the ballads. And they even have a compilation album which has only the ballads, all right? I believe it's called Best of Rockers and Ballads, but I do believe they have one, don't quote me on this, that only has the ballads. But anyway. And so, when I started listening to this album, I was not expecting much, but I was very pleasantly surprised, okay? Some memorable tunes, even the mid-tempo stuff was really cool. It had some guts to it. Claus Main's vocals are excellent, and also the bass tone is really, really well mixed, so that it's more upfront than you would normally have it. So that really gives it a good punch. I'm not going to say this is a return to form or anything like that, but it is a very, very good album. Scorpions Rock Believer, I'm really glad I have that one. Okay, kind of like renewed my faith in Scorpions. I don't know how many more albums, if any, that band has, in their gas tank, but let's hope it's not the last one, but if it is, I think they went out on a high note. I also am going to show the update for my battle jacket, because I've gotten some new patches since last time. So here we have Dio. And like I've said before, I only put patches of bands that I've seen live. Okay, so Dio, which I saw live here, not in my city, but in a neighboring city. Iron Maiden here. And it's fitting that it's the Egyptian Power Slave Eddie, because when I saw them, it was in the Somewhere Back in Time tour when they were using that Power Slave set, stage set. Okay. Also over here, the other side, we got, Testament. There you go. New patches for the jacket. I'm also working on an illustration a Kiss illustration that I hope to put on the back of the jacket. I'll let you know when that one's finished. For now, thank you very much for watching, and keep rocking.